What's up, you rats? It's XTR, and we're here to bring you a brand new video. We are talking about the Phantom, because for some goddamn reason, don't know why, but you guys want to actually improve at this game, which I think is hilarious. It's beyond me. But since you guys want to improve, we're going to talk about the Phantom, and we're going to talk about its practical applications. Not very many, but it is still pretty good. It's arguable whether or not it's better than the Vandal. People always argue about it. I don't really give a fuck, dude. It's whatever you feel like using. I use both of them pretty much every single game I play. So honestly, just take everything I say with a grain of salt, because honestly, you should know how to use both of them very effectively. And if you're not able to use both of them very effectively, then fuck you. Learn how to use the Phantom better, or the Vandal better, you piece of shit. Alright, let's get started. So the benefits of the Phantom are, it's easier to control the spray, it has more rounds, it has no tracers, so that way you can't get like spam back through a smoke. You know what I mean? And it's also good at closer range. Because it's good at closer ranges, it's better at like locking down sights, certain sights. And it's also going to suffer a little bit at the longer ranges. People say the Phantom is better at long range. To that I say, fuck you, you're wrong. But there is a bit of a point to it. Yes, it is good at long range because it's very easy to spray this thing at long ranges. As you can see, it's very easy to spray this thing at longer ranges. Feels a little bit less RNG to me than the Vandal. The Vandal is good at long ranges, but it's mainly good for like holding angles and tapping. We're not going to talk about the Vandal too much because obviously this is a Phantom video, and I already made a Vandal video, which I will link in the description. The Phantom is pretty good at long ranges if you're fucking Annie Oakley and can hit every shot you take. So honestly, it's just better at medium to short ranges in my opinion. Like, realistically, you're going to lose a fight to a Vandal at a longer range if you have a Phantom. That's usually just how it's going to play out. It's just the way it goes, you know? Vandal is usually going to outclass the Phantom at longer ranges, and the Phantom is going to outclass the Vandal at shorter ranges, generally. Because the Phantom can one-hit headshot at close ranges. So that is the main reason that the Vandal is picked over the Phantom. It's for the long range power to actually hold angles and hit those one-hit headshots. That's one of the biggest reasons the Vandal is picked over the Phantom. So personally, I believe the Phantom is best when solo holding sites that don't require you to stare down long corridors. And an example of a long corridor on a site would be like C on Haven. How there's that big ass long corridor that you're kind of forced to stare down unless you want them to just walk up on you, which you can let them do because it's usually going to happen either way because they're going to throw an omen smoke down and just walk up. So for the exercises, we have a few. We have the long range spraying, long range bursting, short range micro flicks, and spray transfers. These are the main exercises you want to focus on when using the Phantom. Now I will say, when you're doing the sprays, you may as well turn off infinite ammo and see how many kills you can actually get using one magazine of this godforsaken weapon. This is what your long range spraying is going to look like, something like this. You're going to stand back out of the training range, and you're going to go for sprays at longer ranges. I just woke up, so my spraying isn't that good. That's the excuse I have right now. Look at that. Look at those fat sprays. Alright, good shit, boys. So far, so good, right? Next up is long range bursting. And long range bursting is basically just standing at a long range and going for the burst fire on the heads. And I'm not doing a very good job of it, but you can kind of get the gist of it, right? You're trying to get like 3 bursts, 3 shots in, and burst that head. Because that's one of the main ways you're going to be killing people long range with this thing. Is you're going to be burst firing, hitting the headshot, and probably, hopefully, a body shot along with it at the same time. If you aim somewhere around neck level, the spray will automatically kind of take you to the head. As you can see, I'm aiming at the neck, and it goes straight to the head with 3 shots. So you want to practice spraying, bursting. You want to practice your short range micro flicks, which are basically this. And that's kind of just helping you react at closer ranges when you're actually in a gunfight. Like, let's say someone's creeping around and they just randomly appear like right here on your screen. You're able to actually hit that shot. Simply put. You can also do the double flicks, which is from one bot to another. And this actually helps quite a bit in my opinion. So that one's a very good exercise as well. And the last one is going to be spray transfers, because you are going to need to know how to spray transfer effectively when you are using this piece of shit weapon. So I'd say for actual practice of this weapon, you're going to want to get probably around 50 kills per exercise with this weapon for like a good solid practice. For a warm-up, I'd say 25 of each. But for good practice, you want to go anywhere from 50 to 100 for each exercise that I put here on screen. Right now, I'm going to throw them all back up on screen and with a kill counter that you're going to actually need. So very simple, right? Here's just some of the core fundamentals that you actually need to use the Phantom effectively. And there's some of the biggest things you actually want to focus on. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is learning how to actually control the recoil. Now, I'm not going to talk too much in depth about this because there's already so many fucking guides on this topic, and I made one myself, which I'll also link in the description below. And basically all it is you want to spend about 5 minutes shooting a dummy bot right here and just trying to land as many shots as possible with a limited magazine. I'm going to take you through the magazine spray and exactly what it looks like and how much you should actually be adjusting. So this is a normal spray with the Phantom. As you can see, it goes up, to the right, to the left again, and then wherever the fuck the gun decides to take its own spray. So, one of the biggest problems that I see in this game, and I guess you don't really have to call this a problem, but I call it a problem because I come from CS, is the RNG at the top area of the spray. As you can see, it really just goes either which way, right? It doesn't have a set pattern once it gets to the top. So the easiest rounds for you to control are like the first 7, because all you're doing is pulling down, as you can see. Your spray is almost always going to be tight if you just very slightly pull down at the beginning of the spray. And from then on, all it takes is you adjusting, basically. You adjusting to where the spray decides to take itself. To adjust, all you do is go opposite of where your bullets are actually leading. If it's going up, you're going down. If it's going left, you're going right. Simple as that. You will never be able to get 100% consistent results in this game due to the RNG that comes along with the spray patterns. It's annoying, I know, but it's still worth practicing. It's still valuable practice. So really fast, this is what you should be working on. So you should grab a Phantom, turn off infinite ammo, and empty all 30 rounds into this dummy over here. Obviously try and land more than 10 fucking shots, but anywhere between, I'd say 15 to 20 is a good place to actually land at, right? So take about 5 minutes each day and kind of just practice this spray and get used to it. That's pretty much all for this. It's just kind of one of those things you want to do before you actually start your practice with the weapon you are choosing. So if you're doing the Vandal, same goes. Just hop over here. I haven't been using the Vandal today, so I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of all you guys. But hop over here, do a little bit of spray practice, and then move on to the routine that I put on screen a little bit earlier. So once you have these core fundamentals kind of focused on, we can go into deathmatch and you can focus on the other 2 main ones. And the 2 main ones are going to be bursting and spraying. Now we're going to go into deathmatch real quick, and I will basically talk about what exactly I'm going for and looking for, and what you guys should be looking for in deathmatch. One of the biggest problems I see, and this still pisses me off, is people just play deathmatch to win the game. And I mean, yeah, if you're like a casual player and that's what you want to do, by all fucking means, go ahead and do that. I really could care less. But if you're trying to improve at the game, your main focus in the deathmatch should not be getting kills and going for the dub, alright, the fat dub. Alright, what you need to be doing is actually trying to practice the fundamentals that you're lacking on in the deathmatch. That's what deathmatch is for. It's good practice. It's putting you in scenarios that you will find yourself in certain games, whether it's being wide swung by somebody, finding or having to quickly react to somebody sitting in a corner, things such as that, right? Hitting those long range shots. That's what deathmatch is for. It's not for showing off to your pals that you can win a deathmatch. It's for practicing your fundamentals of gunplay and mechanics. Alright, so it's been 2 days since I recorded the other part of the video, but we're back, and we are ready to talk about deathmatch. So, deathmatch is good because you can focus on mechanics and gunplay in an environment that's basically like, you know, sometimes you'll encounter shit like this in games, but a lot of times, you know, you won't be surrounded by like 6 different people at the same time. Like, obviously, there's scenarios in deathmatch that you will encounter in game, and it will help you gunplay and mechanics wise to actually play deathmatch and focus on actually building your skill up. So the few things you want to focus on in deathmatch are relaxing, taking your time, and also focusing what you are trying to work on. Focus on what you're trying to actually improve on. Don't just run through the deathmatch, listen to music, and just fucking shoot people, right? Like, that'll help, yeah, but not nearly as much as if you're actually consciously trying to make an effort to improve on a certain aspect of your play. Figure out what you're weak in and start improving on it, right? As you can see on screen, I am going for bursts only. So basically, I have split this one particular deathmatch in half. I'm going for bursts in one half of the deathmatch, and I'm going for sprays in the other, just so you can kind of get a sense of what I'm trying to accomplish here, right? So with the Phantom, it's very important that you get down these two fundamentals. You want to be good at bursting for those long range duels specifically, and you want to be very good at spraying for medium to short range. Those are the core fundamentals you need with the Phantom. You are going to need them. So take your time, work on these. Don't just go around shooting and fucking spraying and shit. Actually figure out what you are trying to do, right? Go for bursts, go for sprays. You can go for taps if you want, but I wouldn't recommend, trying to practice your taps with the fucking Phantom. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I don't really have much to say about deathmatch other than just take your time and improve, right? That's the biggest thing about deathmatch, is that you're actually improving. Because a lot of people play deathmatch to warm up. I play deathmatch just to warm up mainly. But if you want to get better, deathmatch is one of the best ways and most consistent ways you will see yourself improve in this game. So yeah, that's all. See you later.
How that you shut me down when I put myself out there. Took a shit not good for your mouth care. That's just not fair, making me a monster. Hold on, let me fall into the bliss, the oblivion. Right into the night on my bike, and then when I'm gone, I just let it run around, singing to the microphone. Take away my stress, no mess, no vacation on. Listen, no sweat, flying no private jet. Hoping I'm going out rich, just kill my set. I can't even feel my legs.